Fireworks, not bombs, colored the sky over Baghdad Monday night. It was a celebration of U.S. troops pulling out of Iraqi cities. But before Iraqi forces assumed control, 4 U.S. soldiers were killed in combat. CBS News Chief Foreign Correspondent Lara Logan is in Baghdad with the latest. Lara, good morning.
Good morning, Harry. Well, the one thing you wouldn't expect to see on the streets of Baghdad today is U.S. forces. There was a mood of celebration in much of the Iraqi capital as the Iraqi government marked the withdrawal of U.S. troops from their cities with a grand military parade, a first for the new Iraqi army.
They traveled the same road as before, Iraq's army, navy, and special operations forces, all marching on the parade ground that was used so effectively by Saddam Hussein to send an image to the world of Iraqi military might. From a makeshift podium today, Iraq's Prime Minister reveled in the moment. These are now his forces, and from today, they're in charge. Maliki made the deadline for U.S. troops to withdraw from all Iraqi cities and towns, a day of national celebration.
I see it as a significant day for the Iraqis. I also see it as a significant day for the U.S. commitment here as well. It's another step in the progress and the way forward. I think we still have some work to do, but I think this shows that there's been some significant progress made here in Iraq.
The U.S. military has spent the past few days handing over bases to their Iraqi counterparts in cities across the country. But not all Iraqis are celebrating. Many do not trust their government, which is strongly pro-Iran, and there are fears sectarian violence will fill the void left by U.S. troops. The fight against al-Qaeda and other terrorist groups in urban areas now rests with Iraq's security forces. But they still rely on the U.S. for the most basic necessities. Even the maps of their own cities are supplied by the Americans.
For the next few days and weeks, U.S. troops plan to be invisible on the cities of Iraq's streets. But that plan could be derailed if their Iraqi counterparts run into difficulties that are more than they can handle and call on U.S. troops for help, Harry.
And Lara, how will that work then? Because there are more than 100,000 U.S. troops still there in Iraq. Are they basically the 911 for this sort of situation? How will they be called into action if they get called into action?
Well, that's a very good way to put it, because they're exactly that, a 911 kind of force. Whatever the Iraqis need, the U.S. says they will supply. There will be U.S. air assets are still up in Iraqi airspace all the time. That is not affected by the agreement. It's just that combat troops themselves will have to be on their bases out of the cities. There will be some U.S. trainers and others still embedded with Iraqi forces inside the cities. And what is interesting is if their lives are on the line, if they're in trouble and the U.S. needs to send a quick reaction force or reinforcements, in theory, they have to have Iraqi permission to do that. However, General Odierno said earlier today that they would retain the right to defend themselves and they would do that whenever necessary, Harry.
Lara Logan, long 6 years. Thank you so much.